University student targeted by Trump leaves the United States, by Max Matzer on BBC News. Yeah, that's an interesting way of framing this story, isn't it? University student targeted by Trump. As if the President of the United States has got the time to individually pick out students that they're doing nothing wrong, they're just getting on with the studies. And President Trump, because he's such a xenophobe, he just picks them out at random because they're doing studies. A Cornell University graduate student who had his US visa revoked due to protest activities against Israel has chosen to leave the United States rather than be deported. Ah, I see. So he was there on a student visa because he's meant to be studying, and instead he becomes a professional activist in a country that is currently having private car dealerships, individual vehicles and people assaulted, set on fire and blown up because the mainstream media have indoctrinated a generation of young people to have the critical thinking ability of a house brick. And a man that they used to all uniformly admire, Elon Musk, now they've decided he's a full-blown one-bollock dictator, precisely akin to a man who gassed millions of innocent civilians. Of course he is. I'm also willing to wager that this British student is about as British as one of those barefooted South American tribesmen who's never had any contact with the outside world and certainly hasn't been within 10,000 miles of the United Kingdom. Momodou Tal, who is a joint citizen of the UK and the Gambia, had his student visa revoked. The Gambia. Yeah, because we've got loads to do with them. Is there anyone we won't give citizenship to? Abu Hamza had British citizenship, and he had a hook for a hand and one eye on account of the fact he was a professional terrorist. And don't forget, Salman Abedi, the Manchester Evening News arena bomber, was only in the United Kingdom because the Royal Navy rescued him and his brother, and his parents fled Libya because Gaddafi wanted to put a bullet in their heads because he knew they were terrorists as well. But Philip Rutnam still thought it was a good idea to give them a council house in Manchester and feed them for 25 years. This is what we're up against. The civil service and the British government are actively importing and dishing out passports to people who are radicals. Is it any wonder occasionally your kids get scattered up the side of public facilities? Mr. Tal, who is about as British as a Zulu warrior, had his visa revoked due to his on-campus protest activities last year as the Israel-Gaza war raged. Mr. Tal previously sued to block his deportation. Oh, that's weird, isn't it? Funny how that always happens. Yeah, that's a cliche as well, isn't it? They love that. Foreigners love moving to the United States and then whinging about the United States constantly. What planet are these people on? If you get a student visa, we're doing you a favour and allowing you to come and take advantage of some of the best educational facilities on planet Earth. We're not telling you. What you should do is you should move here and then whinge about the United States constantly. And it's the exact same in the UK. At least in the US, they deport these pricks, because in the United Kingdom, they give student visas to professional activists and terrorist sympathisers. You move to England, get on benefits, pop out about 11 kids, brainwash all 11 of them to be wannabe suicide bombers, and at no point does anybody in the British government or establishment ever even entertain the idea of deporting these people. Mr. Tal's leaving the country free and with my head held high after a judge denied his request to delay his deportation. The Trump administration is cracking down on international students who have been active in protests against Israel on university campuses. Mr. Tal is at least the second international student to opt to leave the US after being targeted for removal. The Trump administration identifies these cases as self-deportations. Given what we've seen across the United States, I've lost faith that a favourable ruling from the courts would guarantee my personal safety and ability to express my beliefs, Mr. Tal posted on X. I've lost faith I could walk the streets without being abducted. Get yourself to Palestine, son. Safe there. Yeah, you'll fit right in. Everybody knows disagreeing with Hamas is a good idea, and they definitely won't kill you with a folding shovel and ditch you in the middle of the desert. Mr. Tal was suspended twice by Cornell, an Ivy League school in upstate New York, due to protest activities on the day of the Hamas attack against Israel in 2023. He posted, "Glory to the resistance." Right, I'm sorry. I didn't realise it was going to be this brazen. On the day, they launched a surprise attack on a music festival and promptly shagged a load of innocent women to death and killed 1,000 people. He's on the internet going, "Glory to the resistance." I'm surprised it took this long. What was Joe Biden doing? Also, why is he still on the internet? If on the same day that a load of innocent people got butchered like animals, I was posting going, "Oh, this is brilliant," not only would my accounts get suspended, I'd probably get nicked. Definitely if you were living in the UK. If you look like this and you glory in the death of innocent people, you go to prison for a long time. But as usual, Mr. Tal, because he's from the Gambia, apparently has a privileged position where the most you get is a slap on the wrist. Because he didn't end up getting deported, didn't he? He didn't get nicked. Nothing. And there's a big difference between slagging off the Israelis for a heavy-handed position and genuinely reveling in the death of innocent young women at the hands of medieval monsters. But what do I know? Clearly, Joe Biden thought he was a good egg. Trump officials said the Immigration and Nationality Act allows the State Department to deport non-citizens who are adversarial to the foreign policy and security interests of the United States. Critics have decried the deportations as a violation of free speech. Jesus wept. The hypocrisy of the modern woke tyrants is off the charts. Free speech, celebrating mass murder, reveling in it, and sexual assault, violent, savage sexual assaults. Weird how they all call themselves feminists, isn't it? That's a strange one. I don't think most real feminists would revel in the fact that a young woman gets staked to the floor at a music festival and then bounced on till her head falls off. I don't think that's very feminist. But what do I know? And again, endless hypocrisy. These people don't decry freedom of speech when middle-aged women get locked in prison for posting spicy things on Facebook. That's fine. Lock her up, throw the key away. They were loving that. Middle-aged women getting locked away for 2 years for spicy tweets. They love that. But a full-blown jihadi celebrating the death of 1,000 innocent people, they're getting deported, not jailed. No real punishment, just having a student visa revoked. Apparently that's beyond the pale. You couldn't make this stuff up. That is preposterous. The entire story is ludicrous. And the same people that glory in jailing you for having opinions that they disagree with on Twitter, jailing you for years, and now trying to say this is a freedom of speech issue when a non-citizen who was invited here as a guest becomes a professional activist who hates the United States and all of our allies. Suck my stump, BBC, and anybody else who sides with the indefensible, hypocritical positions of the moronic woke. All right? And I know some of you are going to... There's always people who have a pop. Oh my God, Israeli shill. Never been, don't care. 50 generations of Brits, Paddies and Scandies is as far as I can find in my lineage. I've got no dog in the hunt. But to try and equate full-blown celebrations, glory to the revolution when innocent civilians get slaughtered at recreational activities alongside blokes like Sam Mellier putting politely worded stickers out. It's truly preposterous. This twat got off lightly. If Julie got 2 years for saying sink all the boats, this walking toilet right here got off lightly. So they should be printing headlines like, "God bless President Trump for his extremely lenient approach to law and order." All right, that's the way I see it. If you disagree, feel free to have a whinge in the comments. I like reading them, even if you're a plank. Okay, that's me for the day, ladies and gents. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.